Outstanding conversations there. Huge thank you to everyone that's involved. Now shifting gears a little bit, we're going to turn our focus to the hottest topic in blockchain today. I'm sure you can all guess what it is. We're talking NFTs next. And kicking off is Kalamint CEO Christopher Deschenes to take a look at the tools Kalamint has to offer to NFT artists.
Hi, we've got a screen share. There we go. So, my name is Chris Deschenes, and I'm the CEO at Kalamint, which is a true NFT platform positioned on the Tezos blockchain. For those of you who might be asking, what is an NFT and why does it matter? One answer is that an NFT is a non fungible token that allows data to be stored on an immutable ledger called the blockchain. This data allows provenance to be assigned to digital works of art or intellectual property. But while that statement is accurate, it is a bit vague when trying to truly understand the magnitude of how NFTs are changing the world around us. One statement that I hear regularly is, if it's digital, I can just screenshot it and now I own it. No. However, when someone begins to understand why that statement is inaccurate, well, that's where the excitement starts. I use the Mona Lisa as an example. Most people have seen the Mona Lisa. It's been printed on posters and textbooks and photographed millions of times. You can pull out your phone at a moment's notice and do a quick search, and boom, you're looking at the Mona Lisa from almost anywhere in the world. Now you can take a screenshot of that and tell your friends that you own the Mona Lisa, but you're probably going to get some crazy looks. However, if Leonardo da Vinci had minted his piece on Calumet, you could absolutely show that, yes, I own the digital Mona Lisa, and here's the data to prove it, which is why we encourage every artist to ask the question of, where's my data being stored? Because if it's stored on private servers or controlled by a central source, well, your Mona Lisa is nothing more than a fading memory destined to disappear when the servers stop. So, knowing that, there are a few things that drive us day to day at Calumet. We've built our platform knowing that there is a right way and an easy way. We have and always will choose the right way over the ease way. We watch other platforms sacrifice the ideals of blockchain and decentralization in order to accomplish goals quickly. We recognize that in the long run, those actions are sure to be detrimental to the growth and stability of this current movement into the digital renaissance. With that, Kalman is focused on being a frontrunner into the future by facilitating the creation of artwork meant to last. That incredible artwork that we're seeing created today should be a topic of discussion amongst great grandchildren that are fighting over who gets what piece left in the will. But I guess I should back up a little bit and give a little background on the who, what, where, when, and whys. In the beginning, Calumet was founded by Sandeep Sanghli and Harsha Baku. Both were experienced developers and successful entrepreneurs in the Ethereum ecosystem. They, of course, contemplated building another platform on the same ecosystem where they had previously developed, but recognized some growing disparities in that space. Energy consumption, rising gas fees, and the lack of on chain governance were enough to make them realize that if they were going to build something meant to last, they would have to do it somewhere else. After looking at the tech communities and potential growth, they finally came to the conclusion that there was only one chain with the capabilities to evolve in this ever changing space of technology: Tezos. Tezos was ideal to launch an NFT platform for many reasons. First was the on chain governance, which allows people invested in the blockchain to have a direct impact on the future of protocol upgrades. When you have an upgradable protocol through on chain governance, it eliminates the needs for hard forks. In turn, the risk of two chains hosting the same artwork and effectively forcing artists to copy themselves is no longer a problem. What happens after a hard fork when the same artwork lives on two separate blockchains? Well, at Calumet, we didn't want to find out. Tezos has successfully implemented 7 protocol upgrades, each of which have had a meaningful impact on increasing speed and stability while reducing gas fees and block times. Second was the liquid proof of stake that is millions of times more energy efficient than proof of work blockchains. And it means that users don't have to lock their funds for any amount of time to have their voices heard in the voting process. So remaining true to decentralization and being environmentally conscious were no brainers. Last but not least, it was important to be surrounded by a strong community. And that same community, of course, would become our early adopters into our platform, and the resilience and brilliance of the Tezos ecosystem continues to be amplified as Calumet sees incredible growth month to month. But where do I tie in as the CEO? I was a community member first. I'd been in crypto for quite some time and I'd purchased Ethereum at around $20 and Bitcoin at around $80. Still, I lost money. However, I gained quite a bit of knowledge about crypto and its potential moving forward into the future. That's when I found out about Tezos. I took place in the ICO and became a strong believer in the tech and vision of the project. After a few early setbacks, I began to truly understand the potential of the chain and started to find teams and projects that I truly believed in. Then I found Calumet. I had done two back to back pretty brutal tours in the Marine Corps, and at the time I owned a service disabled veteran owned small business that did work for the US government. Excuse me. Being a business owner helped me realize that Calumet was onto something. If the product is there, the ideals are sound, it's just a matter of time until the rest falls into place. So, in my free time, I became actively involved in the Calumet community and started giving feedback to Sandeep and Harsha. I was actively trying to break the test neck and subjected them to a barrage of questions. Have you tried this? What about this? You should do this. I eventually wore them down, and one day Sandeep asked me if I had any business experience. Well, as a matter of fact, I do. He asked if I was interested in filling the role of director of operations. He told me, he told me he knew he couldn't pay me what I was already making, and it was a step down. But at that point, I didn't care. I was absolutely miserable doing work for the government, and I realized that I was the antithesis of what I was constantly telling others. You only have one life to live, so make sure you're actively trying to leave the world a better place. I wasn't. I realized that Calumet gave me the opportunity to build something that could change the world and do it without hoodwinks or shortcuts, to pioneer the digital renaissance by cementing places of new artwork into the past. But how do we do that? Well, at Calumet, we store 100% of the data on the IPFS, all of the data metadata again on the Tezos blockchain. We're running Pinata in the background, have our own node, and we are TZIP compatible. Every single edition on our contract is stored separately to chain. So your 1 of 5, 2 of 5, 3 of 5, 4 of 5, and 5 of 5 all have their own metadata stored individually on the blockchain. We have zero interest in making art fungible or creating 10,000 interchangeable copies. We are, after all, facilitating the sale of non fungible tokens. We have also implemented 3 indexers that can be used or utilized should another go down. Would one suffice? Sure. But if you're going to build something right, redundancy is king. The goal is that one day we pass the platform off to the community as a DAO, or a decentralized autonomous organization, meaning the community will be in control of the platform through a voting process using our native token Calum. However, if we pass on a subpar foundation built on rush contracts, it would be like gifting someone a house sitting on quicksand. As users stacked one smart contract on top of another smart contract on top of another smart contract just to get the functionality needed, well, the platform would struggle and bog down to the point of being obsolete with constant failures. Scalability would be impossible. At Calumet, we have a few things in the works. One of the projects I'm most proud of are hives. It didn't take long after I entered the NFT space that I noticed a trend, that the space was being dominated by a select few and heavily influenced by the rich who were hell bent on getting richer, oftentimes at the expense of their fellow artists. As I started to look at applications to our site, I noticed that there were incredible artists that were never receiving attention. Even worse, some were being blackballed so that they didn't get noticed for their talent. These same artists were putting out work that, in my opinion, was superior to artists selling for astronomical amounts. Well, to solve this, we developed the idea of hives. A hive is essentially where a group of individuals can come together for a unified movement and work towards a greater good in a central location. It could be 100 women that come together to highlight other women artists, or 1,000 members of an ethnic community that head to social media every Tuesday and Thursday and say, hey, look at this amazing art from our newest members. We feel that an even playing field is vital when allowing NFT artists to flourish. After all, a single voice in a crowd is easily lost amongst the noise, but a group of unified individuals shouting the same thing for the same cause is almost impossible to ignore. The point is that the power of art belongs in the hands of the people, not those trying to suppress others for financial gain. One of the most ridiculous questions that I've been asked recently is, are NFTs a fad? In truth, it's the exact opposite. NFTs are just beginning to shape our future in ways that we can't even fully understand yet. However, it is imperative that we, as an NFT platform, find ways to add utility to tokens. Yeah, sure. If the only thing you could do with an NFT was look at it on your phone or computer, it wouldn't be long before incredible artwork was forgotten on an old hard drive and the excitement was lost. However, games like Rocket Monsters, Pigs at War, Ring Worlds, and several others are showing us that NFTs can make the gaming industry so much cooler. Companies like Zen Vibes are creating technology compatible with Kalamint NFTs that allow you to show off your latest purchase in your living room with a phenomenal digital display. Then every company has an ace up its sleeve. Ours is Alexandria. Kalamint has partnered with the top virtual company in the world, Virtualware. Virtualware was founded in 2004 and has been a leader in technological advancements year after year and are considered the go-to if you need something immaculate and you need it in VR. We also have an endorsement and partnership with Janoff Studios. Janoff is the branding and marketing genius behind a little company called Apple. They've worked with some of the largest and most influential companies in the world, and needless to say, these two Goliaths in their own industry are able to be very selective about whom they choose to align with. That's why at Calumet, we are ecstatic to know that they share our vision for the future. So, what am I talking about? Based around the ancient Egyptian library, Alexandria, we are creating a metaverse to share art in galleries, books in libraries, and music in concert halls. The Egyptian library was famed for the immense amounts of information held in a single space and regarded as the capital of knowledge and learning. Our Alexandria will be the same, but this is just the first step. Welcome to the paradox. We see this as a chance to rebuild the world, but this time to do it right. A world that can act as a kaleidoscope of cultures where Israelis and Palestinians can live side by side without violence, where someone in Africa can inspire and interact with someone in the States and distance becomes a thing of the past. Just imagine an existence where you can be something different, something you're not, or at least you weren't. A place where celebrities can be nobody and nobody can become somebody, but you get to decide who you are. A little out of shape, no problem. Six-pack abs. Born with a disability, not in here. In short, it's the perfect paradox where you can go to the bank and do your DeFi trading, compete against your friends in your favorite games, or just hang out in your personal home. But mostly, where you can decide your outcome, where the world becomes an equal playing field. I say all this to show that these incredible steps into the future are being made possible by NFTs, that we have just now begun to understand what tomorrow will bring, or how we can influence the future of humankind for the better. At Calumet, we understand that the future is bright, and at Calumet, we are willing to lay the groundwork by doing things the right way, not the easy way. I appreciate your time today and look forward to seeing each of you at calumet.io. Thanks again.